The message came through at 12:14 a.m. You're officially cut out of everything. I stared at those glowing words, my thumb frozen above the screen. The group chat, labeled family, blinked like a wound that refused to close. Below the message were traces of laughter, emojis, hollow jokes, and my mother's silence pressing between the lines like static. Cut out. I scrolled upward. The photo of the fire stared back at me. My brother's son, 12, grinning as a wrap box burned in the flames. My birthday present. Unopened, his voice still echoed in my head. Dad says you're just a failure who deserves nothing. Everyone laughed, even my mother. I said nothing. I remember the heat of the smoke on my face, my hands unmoving, the sting sitting deep but steady. It wasn't the first humiliation, just the loudest. So when the group message arrived, it felt almost efficient. I typed 3 words. Good. Check whose name owns the house you live in. Then I set the phone face down. By midnight, it had vibrated 74 times. But to explain that, I should start earlier, before the fire, before the mockery, before my brother began wearing my father's voice like a costume. He was always the golden child, the firstborn, the heir, the one who stayed. I was the one who left, college, the city, ambition, all of it. They called me too serious, too proud, too much like Dad. Yet when Dad passed, it was me who handled the estate, me who cleared the mortgage, me who kept the deed in the family's name. I never mentioned that the deed was signed under my name, not out of greed, but because I believed family meant trust. A mistake. The shift came quietly. My brother stopped calling. My mother's tone turned cool. When I visited, the rooms felt different, rearranged somehow, as though someone had been rewriting my memories at night. Then came the birthday dinner. A long table, flickering candles, half-empty plates. My nephew, small, sharp-eyed, with a grin too cruel for a child, handed me a wrap box. Empty. A joke. Then the fire. Then the words. Then the laughter. That's when I realized something in that house had rotted far deeper than I thought. I didn't confront them. Not yet. I started with the documents. Scanned deeds, old transfers, lawyer emails. My father's would have been simple, everything divided equally. But the version my brother circulated told another story. His story. He'd rewritten my father's last wishes, subtly, strategically, hiding behind my mother's grief as cover. I spotted it first in the handwriting. Too clean, too deliberate. Dad's hand always trembled slightly. My brother's didn't. Still, I waited. Let them call me the failure, the bitter son who couldn't move on. Meanwhile, I built my case, dates, signatures, witness statements, digital trails he never imagined I'd trace. Each night became a ritual, reviewing evidence, slow and precise. The truth no longer shocked me. It only honed me sharper. When I found the wire transfers, money funneled from the family account into a so-called consulting firm, signed off with my mother's name, I felt nothing. Emotion had become a luxury. They wanted me erased. I wanted them exposed. The proof fit neatly into 12 printed pages, stamped, bound, and impossible to deny. Forgery, fraud, property misrepresentation. I didn't need a courtroom. Not yet. I only needed silence. I showed up unannounced. My mother opened the door, eyes swollen, expression tight, like she'd been rehearsing disappointment. My brother stood behind her, calm, smug. I handed him the folder. He flipped through it. By page 3, the color drained from his face. No shouting, no denial, just a slow collapse of arrogance. My mother whispered, "What is this?" I met her gaze. Proof. That was all. He tried to speak, but the air seemed to leave his lungs. I watched his lips tremble, the same ones that told his son I deserved nothing. Then I turned and walked away. No one followed. The next day, the group text arrived, the one that officially cut me out. I smiled when I saw it. It meant he was scared. They still believed I was powerless, that their rejection was a final blow. But power doesn't announce itself. It waits. My reply, good. Check whose name owns the house you live in, was surgical. Clean. One line, one incision. It took them 10 minutes to realize. 10 minutes of the truth to crash through their fantasy. Every wall, every room, every inch of that house, mine, legally untouchable. By midnight, the call started. First my mother, then my brother, then his wife, crying. I didn't answer any of them. Instead, I stood at the window, watching the rain stutter beneath the streetlights. The same calm I'd worn for months settled over me again. By morning, the house would be gone. The same house where they laughed. The same fire that burned my gift would now burn their illusions. At 3:17 a.m., I turned off my phone. The silence was perfect. I poured a drink, sat at my kitchen table, my kitchen, in a city far from the ghosts I'd buried, and just breathed. No joy, no satisfaction, just clarity. They wanted me gone. Now they'd finally understand what absence really meant. There's something beautifully final about the moment a family stops pretending to love you. It leaves space, quiet, heavy space, for truth to breathe. I took a slow sip, set the glass down, and looked at my reflection in the dark window. For the first time in years, their shadows weren't behind mine. Only me, and that was enough.